Every once in a while, something happens that I have no explanation for. And that's exactly what I experienced recently. It involves my favorite riverboat company that sails here in the United States, the American Queen Voyages. I was planning my trips and cruises for 2024 when this happened. And let me tell you exactly what it was. Hi, I'm Sandy from Sandy Over 70. I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell with the all so that you can get notified when I post all my videos. I was looking for a cruise or trip for somewhere in June. And I had decided that a riverboat cruise would be good because earlier in the year we are going on the Celebrity Beyond. So I thought this would be a totally different kind of cruise. I spent days researching which would be the best riverboat cruise to take. And I decided on the American Queen Voyages American Countess because I'd never been on it. American Queen has 5 ships, and I had been on 2 of them. I'd been on the American Duchess and the American Queen flagship twice, so I wanted to try a different ship. Countess has 200 passengers, and it's brand spanking new, and it did the exact itinerary I was looking for on the upper Mississippi River. So seems simple, right? Wrong. For some reason, I couldn't get myself to contact my travel agent to book this cruise. This went on for weeks. And every night I would sit down and again do research, look at the various itineraries, look at other itineraries, other ships, and come back to the fact that I wanted to cruise on the Countess. I had a date selected, but something was stopping me from contacting my travel agent. I thought about just contacting the cruise line directly, which I used to do in the past, but now that I use this particular travel agent, she's been giving me a lot of rebates that I just can't pass up. I couldn't understand it. I really couldn't. There was something holding me back, and it was intense. Finally, 2 nights ago, I wrote an email to her and I said, "Do you book American Queen Voyages cruises?" Now, in actuality, this is a very strange thing for me to have written because she's a travel agent. Why wouldn't she be booking American Queen Voyages? Normally, I would just say, "Please book me on this ship on this date," but I didn't. The next day, I got an answer. She said, "No, I am not, and in fact, the travel agency is not booking anything from American Queen anymore." Wow, what happened? I decided to do some research. The first thing I did was a search on travel agents and American Queen Voyages, and I was astonished to find out that prior to my booking agency stopping the selling of American Queen cruises, that several others had also done the same thing. The travel agencies that had already stopped selling American Queen Voyages was Pleasant Holidays and Signature Travel, as well as AAA. Wow, I thought, something's going on. My guess was that it had to do with commissions because that would really stop them from selling these cruises. And if that was true, it would mean something was really wrong behind the scenes. It was mentioned that one of the reasons they were no longer selling American Queen cruises was because of problems with customer service, in particular, the delay in customers getting refunds. In some cases, it would take up to 5 months. Now, I cruised on the American Queen in November of 2022, and I will say I had no problem with customer service whatsoever. And of course, I wasn't asking for a refund, so I don't know about that. But also, I had canceled an American Queen cruise at the beginning of the pandemic, and I got credit for it. Yeah, it took a little while. And they wanted to withhold some of it, but my travel agent fought for me, and I did eventually get the credit I was due, which is extra credit beyond the cost of the cruise. So maybe there has been trouble with refunds. Let me just say, first of all, that American Queen Voyages is my favorite riverboat company here in the U.S. I did try American Cruise Line once. They're really big, and they seem to be a very stable company. They have 19 ships and riverboats. And recently, I cruised on one of their very old, small 90-passenger riverboats, which I did not care for at all, and had decided I wouldn't cruise with them anymore. American Queen has 4 riverboats. They're all paddle wheelers. They announced that they were taking the American Duchess out of service after 2023, and that it would come back as a refurbished ship with new itineraries and improved services in 2024. So it's been gone for a while, and I have not seen any announcement that it's coming back. So I'm thinking, how long does it take to refurbish a ship? And is there financial problems that are causing them to be unable to spend the money on the refurbishment? In 2019, American Queen bought 3 small cruise ships from Victory Cruise Line, and they put 2 of them to service on the Great Lakes and 1 in Alaska. At the end of 2023, they announced that the 2 Great Lakes cruise ships would be sold, and they were keeping the 1 small one for Alaska. So something went wrong there. They said that there was too much competition for the Great Lakes market, which I can understand, and that basically they couldn't afford to keep those 2 ships out of service for 6 months when the weather was so bad that they couldn't cruise on the Great Lakes. So that was another red flag. One final little piece of information is that their CEO, Cindy Doust, who was appointed 1 year ago, has now left American Queen Voyages. The Hornblower Group, which owns American Queen Voyages, states that they want to integrate American Queen more closely into the Hornblower Group. So I put all these red flags together, and I thought, something's wrong. Something's really wrong, and they are in a crisis over at American Queen. And would it really be wise to book a cruise for next June with this going on? Now, I have no proof that there's anything going on. I could be completely off base, but this is my personal opinion. And then I thought back to my difficulty, my impossibility of taking the step to book that Countess cruise when I felt something stopping me. It's one of those strange things. Ooh. And I thought, I don't think I better do that, because if perchance they were to go out of business and shut down, there would be a good chance I could lose my money, and this would have been an extremely expensive cruise. I'm talking about perhaps $18,000 for the two of us with air. I just don't think I should risk that. So I have decided not to book the Countess. I want to be clear that I love American Queen Voyages. I love the American Queen flagship ship so much. It's filled with antiques. It is a wonderful experience, but I've been on it twice, so I didn't want to do the Upper Mississippi on it a third time. I wanted to try something new. So that's why I wanted to book the Countess. So what are my alternatives? Well, there are two other riverboat cruise lines in the U.S. that do the Mississippi, and one is American Cruise Line, which I mentioned before, which has 19 ships, and the other is Viking Cruise Line, which has one ship. Well, I looked at the Viking Mississippi, their one ship. They've just gotten into the Mississippi cruising market, and it looks interesting. Their focus is on education and in-depth learning. I'm not sure how much entertainment there is or the level of entertainment on their cruise ship, which I like. I do like some entertainment. They have an excellent reputation. They are all inclusive. That means there is an included tour at every stop. They are giving a discount on the air. But even with all that, it would still come to also about $18,000 to $19,000 for two people. Huge amount of money. So then I looked at American Cruise Line. They also have the itinerary I'm looking for on the Upper Mississippi, and I can take that cruise for several $1,000s less. They also include a complimentary tour at each docking. Although I didn't like the American Independence, they have some brand new little ships that were built in 2023 that look much, much nicer, brand new, very pretty. So I think I would be pleased on one of those ships. So there it is. I haven't made a decision. I'll probably spend some more evenings debating it. I usually don't have trouble like this in deciding on a particular cruise or trip and then just booking it. But this one has me coming to a complete stop. So eventually you will know what I decide because, of course, I will do videos on the cruise. But I just want to wrap it up by saying something really strange happened. I have never had such an intense feeling not to do something as I did when I was trying to book this Countess cruise. It went on for night after night, week after week, and I just couldn't do it. So I am thinking that something outside of me is telling me, don't do it. So I won't. I'll let you know what happens, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.